Blog Talk Radio.
Alternative facts.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. At 12:07 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, numerous unidentified objects of unknown intent and unknown origin were detected at high altitudes over multiple locations of Earth's outer space by the National Radio Astronomy Observatory, and these objects are presumed to be some form of controlled aircraft. It is not known if more of these aircraft will arrive, or if they will attempt entering Earth's atmosphere. United States citizens are encouraged to monitor local media outlets, as more updates will follow as information becomes available. The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. Attacks by the undead have been reported in several states across the country. The dead are rising from their graves and are attacking the human race. At this time, it is expected that more attacks of this nature will occur in several other states in the next few hours. The intent behind their attack is unknown at this time. He has been observed that a bike or exchange of fluids is a method of transmission. This is an extremely dangerous situation if they crave the taste of human flesh. It is not known whether this event will last for hours, days, or even longer. Stay calm, as authorities have been dispatched to deal with these creatures. An all-clear siren will be sounded when this situation is under control. Pacific Standard Time, NORAD detected a long-range nuclear missile launching. This missile is believed to be headed in the direction of all residents within a 400-mile radius of this area should seek a fallout shelter immediately.
Welcome to Within the Chaos with your host, Rodney the Viking Shortridge, co-host, Melinda the Raven Jackson. Want to give a big old shout out to the Facebook paranormal groups that allow us to post our shows on their pages and helping us to get the word out about all of our guests. Also, a shout out to the Connor sisters. Hats off to Misty and Ashley. They are the founders of SOS Sisters of Salem Paranormal Research Society and host of their podcast, Paranormal Party. You can find them on Facebook under Paranormal Party. If anyone would like to speak to Black Diamond Paranormal Society, BDPS, to discuss your paranormal questions or issues, go to our website at blackdiamondps.org or email blackdiamondps@yahoo.com. As always, our services are free.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. You can listen in by calling 516-387-1922, or you can go to the Vibe Radio Network website at blogtalkradio.com/Vibe Radio Network. For deep within the heart of the Appalachian Mountains, I'd like to welcome everyone and thank you for listening to Within the Chaos. My name is Rodney Shortridge, and I'll be your host tonight, along with my beautiful Raven Melinda Jackson. First off, I'd like to give a shout out to my cousins up in Ohio, Jennifer and Joe Shortridge of 222 Paranormal. If you get a chance, check out their talk show. You can find them on Facebook under 222 Paranormal.
Have your devices just randomly stopped working? Are you having IT trouble? Not to worry, Mead's PC Repair Shop can help. We also offer IT support too, including website hosting. We are now also offering full event management services. To find out more, contact our friendly customer service team who will gladly help in any situation. Just call 276-880-8900, or if you prefer, you can stop by our shop at 1089 St. Clair Street, Oakwood, Virginia, 24631 by appointment only, or by visiting the website at meadspcshop.com for more information. Thank you.
Well, howdy, everybody. Melinda's out sick again. I don't know, this winter's kicking her ass. That girl. Hope she gets to feeling better. She thinks she might have the flu, so our hearts and thoughts are with her, and hope she has a speedy recovery, because it's hard for me to hold down the fort by myself, but I'll try. Tonight our special guest is author of Guiding Kathy, A True Story. The author's name is Kathleen Werstein. I hope I'm saying that right. If not, I'm sure she'll correct me and tell me, dude, you're going to have to learn how to say people's last name. But I'm going to go ahead and get this show on the road and go ahead and, Kathy, are you with us?
Can you hear me, I hope?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Oh, great. Yep. It's Werstein, by the way, yes.
Werstein. Okay. Well, I knew I'd mess it up.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I did in the beginning, too, when it was new to me. So, yeah.
Well, I'm out here in Virginia, so we tend to see things and say things a whole lot different than what they're pronounced. And I know some of the guests I've had on, they're like, dude, what is your problem? I'm like, hey, I'm a hillbilly. Sorry.
Well, when I came to Nevada, I didn't know if it was pronounced Nevada or Nevada. Nevada.
Yeah.
Nevada. But now it's Nevada. Yeah.
Lord, I haven't been out there. It's been, I guess, 16 years. Beautiful
That's a
place.
long time, yeah.
It's a beautiful place, but too hot for me. It's hot.
Yeah, hot, windy, or too cold. And snow. We had snow a couple of weeks ago. Yep.
Wow. We're actually having snow right now.
Oh, are you? It's your turn.
It's been a strange winter. We'll go to having below zero to 60 degrees to rain to snow. It's just been wild. It's been crazy out this way.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Ooh. Too drastic.
Yeah. Well, Kathy, I want to thank you for coming on the show. You know, it's such an honor to have you on. And I'll start off with, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and, how you got into writing?
Oh, sure. And thank you, by the way, for having me as a guest on your show. I feel honored being a guest. So, again, I thank you very much for that. My name is Kathleen Werstein, but I prefer to be called Kathy. And I'm originally from Los Angeles, California. I come from a small immediate family, my mother, father, one sibling, which is an older sister. In the late 1980s, I moved with my parents and my cat from California to Las Vegas, Nevada, where I still reside. I wrote a book because of all the highly remarkable events I experienced, which started when I was 2 years old. And then my story continues on to my mid-50s.
Okay. Well, can you explain your process of your writing?
Yes. After I realized I had much to write about, I typed all those events I could recall onto a computer. As I never wrote a manuscript before, I took all the events and put them in a chronological and logical order, making sentences into paragraphs, then paragraphs into chapters. While doing so, some songs would come to my mind, those that actually happened during the event, respectively. So I interjected them into my manuscript by title only, as although songs or lyrics are copyright protected, titles are not. So from there, I also added some songs into my story that I felt were befitting to it. And once my story was complete, I looked online to find an agent that would be interested to see my manuscript. I found an agent, one that wanted true stories about Las Vegas. Although my story started in Los Angeles, it does take off, then ends in Las Vegas. So the agent, after looking over my manuscript, told me that my book was too long, being between, the manuscript, not the book, it wasn't a book then, being between 400 and 500 pages. I then looked online for nonfiction manuscript competitions. I couldn't find any, but did find a screenplay competition. I then took my story and formatted it into a screenplay, and entirely different and much complicated for someone who has never done one before format. Yes, do not try this. Think that you can just whip out a screenplay. No, you really need to know what you're doing with this. It's very different than writing a manuscript for a book. After I had that copyrighted, I submitted my screenplay into the contest. And as my screenplay didn't win, I went back into the manuscript format, then using my screenplay as its story foundation. When I felt my manuscript was completed, I then formatted it into an ebook. After, I sought services that offer ebook cover designs, and the original design I had for it was very simple. I liked it, therefore chose it, then published my ebook. I found that more people wanted a book they could hold in their hands rather than read on a screen, so I then became in pursuit of getting my manuscript formatted for a hard copy. When that was completed, I then needed a front, back, and side panel for my book. So using the same agency I used where I had the cover of my ebook designed at, another artist offered a very reasonable price for his designing the total cover. While he was working on the front cover, I asked some of my friends who read my manuscript by my giving out to them to read for free their opinions of my manuscript. All liked it very much. One person caught an error in it, and I'm so glad he did. So I corrected it. It was when some guy drove me to his house, but I stated when our date ended that I drove myself home, so I'm glad he caught that error. And one person commented on the bathroom scene. There's a scene in the book where I'm in the bathroom. Yeah. So I added a few words to clarify one of my actions in there. I thought I explained it very well, but no, I just needed to add just a few more words to it there. Each praise I received about my book seemed to be repeated by some others who expressed their opinions of it also. So I singled out one individual's opinion whom I thought would best represent that same one commented by the others of the like, and asked that individual's permission if I could put their comment, name, and title of their occupation, if they wished, on the back cover of my book. And each one agreed to my request. And if you would like, I could read off their names and their comments that are on the back of the book.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay. Okay, here's the first comment. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't want to miss anybody. I've done that before. Oh, my goodness. Okay. There are 7 comments on the back of the book. The first one states, quote, "Guiding Kathy, a true story, is quite fascinating, not what I expected. I've never been one to believe in ghosts and/or spirits, to be honest. So at first I had a hard time believing that these things happened to Kathy, that she saw them so real and interacted with them, but she makes a great case for their existence," unquote. And that's from Aaron Siegel, the mayor of Paramount Pictures. The next comment, quote, "Guiding Kathy, a true story, is a beautiful painting of a great heartwarming story. Kathy tells of her life's journey and how she is guided by angels helping her make her life choices. When I began reading the life of Kathy, I wanted to find out what would happen next and where the spirits leading and where were the spirits leading her. As Kathy's relationships grew, I feel her passion in every word, and that's from Rhodey Pollock, producer of OIG Entertainment. The next comment is, quote, Kathleen has a beautiful way of writing. I believe many will be able to relate to her story, unquote, and that's from Marcia Ann Kufek. The next comment is, quote, Kathleen Werstein's Guiding Kathy, A True Story, gave me the encouragement to continue to try and bring my spiritual side to a more pronounced level in my life, unquote. And that's by a man named James Summers. The next quote is an incredible story of a woman's trek through life in which she experienced angels and encountered the other side. Very encouraging and inspirational, unquote, and that's by Darren McCabe, film producer. The next person stated that the author, Kathleen Werstein, has written a true gem. The story unfolds at a great pace. And he's quoting part of my book here. He says, he stated, here, her pillow moved a little closer the other night. Am I going crazy? Unquote. And that's from Paris Holmes, film director. And the last one, quote, our mortality, tears, hopes, and fears are poignantly written by the author, Kathleen Werstein. Many blessings to you, Kathy, exclamation point, unquote. And that's by Ken Walther. He's CIA retired.
Oh, wow.
And after that, yeah. So I'm very happy with everybody's comments and very proud to put them all in the back of my book from these people. And then after, let's see here, where was I? Let's see, the artist of, bear with me a moment, I'm trying to recapture where I left off before I quoted all these names here. The artist of my book's hard copy's cover, per my request, added some more elements to the design of it. Excuse me. When the front cover, side panels, and the back cover's design was complete, I told the artist that I would be adding names to the back cover along with a photo of myself, and that I would also want to have my own ISBN, which stands for International Standard Book Number, on it as well. While I was looking for buying ISBN numbers in quantity, and the reason why I wanted to buy in quantity, excuse me one moment, I just need a drink of water. It's very dry here.
Okay.
Thank you. The reason why I wanted to buy in quantities is that you need an ISBN number if it's all your story for the different formats that you're putting your story into. Like for a hard copy book, you want an ISBN number for that one, and then another one for an ebook if the ebook digital store does not offer you one, and another for an audio book, another for a screenplay, and it goes on and on. So I was looking for a package deal of these ISBN numbers, which I did buy. And while I was looking for the package deal, I stumbled upon QR codes, and that stands for Quick Response Code. It's for a smartphone's camera. You just aim your smartphone camera at it, and a site's banner will appear on your phone. And you tap the banner, and you're instantly taken to a web's location. And I send people immediately to my blog that way. It's really neat. It's really impressive. It's like a little toy, and you can change it at any time, 24/7. You can just keep changing it to bring you to different locations, anywhere you want it to go. But it has to be a website, something related to the web. So with everything in place, the way I wanted it, the book was then ready to publish. I chose Amazon to publish it on, as it's free, like where I have the ebook published at. That's also for free, so that helps me out a lot. And that's it. That's how that came about.
Wow, that sounds very complex.
Oh yeah, it's endless. It's an endless process. There's always something you want to change or edit or something. Yeah. and it's very
Well,
time consuming.
Oh, I bet. Well, can you
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about your book, Guiding Kathy, A True Story?
Yeah, sure. But first, I'd like your listeners to know that my book, Guiding Kathy, A True Story, is non-religious. It is spiritual. Okay, so no matter which religion a person may believe in, as long as one believes in God and guardian angels, my story will enhance one's religion. Okay, so it doesn't take away; it will add to it. But it's not geared towards any one religion in particular. It's just for everybody. And also, my story is multi-genre, being an all-true story, therefore nonfiction. Again, spiritual. It's paranormal, faith, and a love story. It also includes God, like I stated, guardian angels, a near-death experience, dreams that came to fruition, and a picture of a spirit, including how that came about. So it's just not about me going to heaven, coming back, telling about it. There's a lot going on in this story, plus, again, including songs as well. And about my book, when I was 2 years old, I was gifted by God. He reached out to me. I'm only going to tell you briefly about it, not go into detail, but of course, because it's all in the book. Okay. So when I was 3 years old, angels started to protect me. They kept me from probably injuring myself by contemplating how I could get myself down to the ground off a second-story balcony. An angel protected me from being badly injured in a car accident when I was 10 years old with my father driving the car. And when in my teens, all I wanted to be was married. I wanted the exact same kind of relationship that my parents had, which was a very loving, caring, and nurturing one. At age 16, an angel guided me by giving me a hint as to where my future husband was at that time. I thought the angel meant where my then current boyfriend was heading to. So that is who I ended up marrying, my then current boyfriend. And during our marriage was when I began to have dreams that came true. I saw apparently while it was happening how my husband's grandfather passed. Okay? Now, our marriage, however, didn't work out, so we divorced. As I didn't have a car when I was married, I needed to then buy one, and that is how I met my second husband. He was a car salesman. He sold me my first car that I bought, and the salesman came with it. Package deal. Yeah. And shortly after I met him, I had a dream that I didn't understand then, but after my first couple of dates with this man, my dream had come to fruition. And one day, my husband was acting in a way that made my stomach feel uneasy. By my abiding by what he requested caused an angel to protect me, probably save my life from the situation that was to follow otherwise. Yeah. And we continued to stay married for a while longer. Then upon mutual agreement, we separated, then divorced. I took possession of our cat, though. After my marriage, I had a near-death experience. A spiritual entity, whom I believe was God, had me go right to him immediately after I exited the tunnel. He showed me a place that I didn't recognize at all, and therefore I didn't understand why I was seeing it. After he knew I had a good look at what he wanted me to see, he sent me right back into my body. And during the next 10 years that followed, I dated heavily with, hundreds, hundreds of men. I was still looking for my guy. And I was using a computer dating service to do that with. And since my second marriage, except for 1 year, I lived with my parents. And when my father retired, my parents, my cat, and I moved from California to Las Vegas, Nevada, where, again, I continued to reside in. So soon after we moved to Las Vegas, I placed an ad in the personal section of my local newspaper to meet men. I met several nice, decent men for my ad, but one man in particular stuck in my mind the most after I dated him. And on our first date I had with that man, we ended up injuring the other by playing a game of racquetball. And, of course, all these details are in the book. On our second date, while I was at his house that he built, with a little help from his son. I mean, he built everything: the plumbing, the masonry, the fencing, you name it, the stucco, the roof. He did it all. So after on our second date, we were in the desert. He built his house in the desert, So we decided to take a walk out there and to bring his dog along with us. While we walked and talked, I began to realize what my near-death experience I had over 20 years prior meant. Everything was coming together in my mind, my whole life, all these guiding hints was all coming together. So I ended up marrying this man. So while we were still newlyweds, he passed. And my story continues with my having many paranormal experiences described in it. I kept my story very real throughout so the reader will know exactly how a part of our universe functions and interacted with me and why I made the choices I did. Wow. That's what my story is about. Yeah.
Wow. So how many books have you written?
So far, just this one.
Just the one?
Yeah. And I do not plan to write any more in the paranormal field. This is it, because these are all my experiences are in this book. Well, except for some EVPs, but other than that, the main ones are in this book. And yeah, so just this one so far.
Well, are there any other types of writings that you do or, would like to pursue?
Well, I like to redo my screenplay, and I'm also considering writing a fiction book. And again, it won't be anything like Guiding Kathy, a true story. No paranormal or love or faith in there. It would just be nonfiction.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Was your the events that happened to you, is that what inspired you to become a writer, or was there other events that may have led you down that path to become a writer?
It was all these events that happened to me that I wrote about in my book. It inspired me to become a writer. I felt highly compelled to tell as many people as I could what happened. Some people have had some of these experiences, but what I've realized is that not everybody's experience is exactly alike. There might be some similarities, but not specifically the same. So this is why I needed to tell my story. And again, it's just not that I went to heaven and came back, but other things had happened during this story. So I had to tell everybody, as many people as possible as I could, about what happened. Yeah.
Well, who would you say was, your most challenging character in your book?
I would have to say myself. I really would. It's a nonfiction book. It is about me, and I'm the main character in it, and of course, God is there, and there's other characters as well. The most challenging was myself, because I have endured a great deal of loss and suffering during this story, and that I wrote about, and yet keeping my faith, and it has definitely been the most challenging experiences I've had in my life, to be able to keep your faith and go through all of this. What I experienced is, how could I not keep my faith? And this is another reason why I wrote my book. Have faith. What happened to me could happen to you, but probably in a slightly different way. But God does exist, and guardian angels exist. So keep that faith. You are never alone. You could be in the darkest alley, in a hole that's thousands of feet deep. You're still never alone. God is with you. So yeah, keep the faith, as they used to say. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Kathy, we're going to take a break and give you a moment, and we'll be right back.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Phantom Fest 2019 is hosted and sponsored by Black Diamond Paranormal Society, Blog Talk Radio Within the Chaos, the Connor Sisters, Paranormal Party, and Elk Garden School Community Ministry. The Phantom Fest is geared for the like-minded and enthusiasts and researchers in the fields of the paranormal, UFOs, cryptozoology, comics, horror films, gamers, cosplay, metaphysical, spiritual, artists, authors, ancient civilizations, tattoo artists, unexplained mysteries, superheroes, FX horror artists, steampunk, costume contest, sci-fi and so much more. The fest offers a unique and interesting outlook on the abnormal. The Phantom Fest will be held on November 2nd, 2019 at the Russell County Conference Center, 139 Highland Drive, Lebanon, Virginia. Starting at 10 a.m. and going to 6 p.m. Tickets are $7 per person, ages 0 to 6 are free. Or tickets can be reduced to $5 per person with 2 non-perishable food items, to be donated to the Elk Garden School Community Ministry to help families during the Thanksgiving season. Any non-perishable food donations will be happily received. Also, we will have a free costume contest for all ages. Any businesses or persons interested in being a vendor, please be sure to submit your vendor application and include the vendor fee of $25 by October 20th, 2019. Feel free to find the Phantom Fest vendor application at our website, phantomfest.org. Guest speakers, returning this year, Bill and Chris Reap of Reap Investigations, paranormal investigators Tina Marie Williamson and Paul Dixon, giant researcher Heather Arnold. New to this year's Phantom Fest guest speakers, Dave Spinks, Ron Whitehead, Jake Fife, Chad Zumwalt and Whitney Benson. Special appearances by Cosplay Bridget Baker, Martial Arts Christian Yaya Thompson and Token Nihilist Cosplay. Many more to be announced. Find us on Facebook Phantom Fest, www.facebook.com/phantomfest. Our email, phantomfest1@yahoo.com. For more information, please contact Rodney Shortridge at 276-970-1456, Misty Connor at 540-597-7190. The $25 vendor fee includes a 6-foot table, 2 chairs, 2 free admission tickets and power, upon request. The $25 vendor fee is non-refundable. Vendor applicants will be notified within 3 days after payment has been processed for approval. Go to Facebook events at www.facebook.com/events/phantomfest.
Okay, well, we're back with Kathy, and if she's ready, we'll go ahead and I'll ask the next question to be, what would you say is the most important part of writing?
Oh, okay. I think the most important thing about writing would be structure. You need an intriguing beginning, a middle to continue the reader's curiosity, and a satisfying end. I would also think that staying true to the genre specified, like for nonfiction story, writing the truth. Do not fabricate. Make it all true. And then grammar in that order.
Well, when you read a book, do you see a lot of the grammar that is, not correct? Because I know some local authors have a pet peeve about that.
Yeah, it does stand out. It does grab your attention. I started to read somebody's book, and it seemed interesting. Excuse me. There weren't any periods. It was just like one long run-on sentence, chapters, And I thought, oh no, And so I felt that was annoying. Yeah.
Well, you won't want to read anything I write. I got a bad habit of going ...
Oh, that's okay. I mean, everything is in its for its appropriate place. It has an appropriate place. If it's overused, it starts to stand out. My original manuscript had, I think, 1,000 exclamation marks because I'm so like, yes, like, no, yes, and so I'm intense. So, and I had one person who read it says, no, don't hardly use the exclamation mark at all. So, I used it very sparingly when I re-edited it.
Well, my daughter, she's a writer, and she published a small book, and every time I write something and she reads it, she gives me hell. She's like, "Daddy, my God." I'm like, "Sorry, I write how I think. I'm sorry."
That's okay. It gives you a voice. It does. It does have its purpose. It really does. I would have other people read your manuscript before, or you and anybody else, before thinking about publishing your work, and see what the majority says about your work. If just a few people say, well, you could improve here and there, and you go, well, I kind of like it the way it is, so you keep it the way it is, but if the vast majority of people say, look, you really need to change this, then I would say go ahead and change it. It's your book, it's your story, it's your voice. I would just say try to prevent annoying the reader if at all possible.
Well, I annoy people anyway, so if they read anything I wrote, they'd be like, oh my gosh, he's even annoying in his writing.
Well, you don't sound annoying to me at all. You sound very pleasant.
Well, thank you. Well, what type of books do you most enjoy?
I enjoy nonfiction books, like Life After Life by Raymond Moody. I couldn't believe when I had my near-death experience, or shortly after I had it, I found in a bookstore his book, and I thought, oh my God, somebody else has this experience. This was back in the mid-'70s, okay? So who talked about it back then, right? So I could really relate to what he was stating. Yeah, so I enjoyed his book a lot, and as such. And then I came across online researching something else about how far a person can remember, and if they can remember being in the womb. And I found some people actually have remembered being in the womb, and I find that fascinating. So I'm going to start reading up on that when and if I ever get some free time, which seems highly unlikely in the very near future, that I know, but maybe somewhere down the road later on I'll have that chance.
Well, what advice would you give an up-and-coming writer?
Okay. I guess if they want their story to be published, they must expect to have a lot of patience with themselves to get their idea or ideas out of their heads and onto a computer's word processing program, to then be prepared for their story's next step, which would include, but not necessarily limited to, like formatting, publishing, and marketing their book.
Okay. Well, what can you tell us about angels? What are they? Where they come from, and what are their purpose?
I believe angels, like anything that is considered paranormal, to be an energy of awareness. From my personal experiences with them, they are very well-meaning, want the best for us. They will guide and protect us to keep us safe so that we will obtain what our souls desire, and for like the betterment in our lives.
Okay. Well, according to biblical accounts, it's sometimes possible for angel-like beings to appear to be human. If so, have you had this type of an experience?
Yes. I have to question how one man came to help me. And by the way, he's in my book. He's mentioned in there. I was involved very basically, not the details, but the details again are in my book about this. I was involved in a car accident and had a great fear of driving after. So I found just one psychologist in the book that would come to my home to help me with that problem. And that psychologist had me drive us in my car to a nearby shopping mall. And just after one time with him, I began to feel comfortable about driving again. And when I went to his office to thank him sometime later, he was nowhere to be found. And as the reader of my book will discover, not only could this man be an angel, but could also have been related to me as well. Somebody who had passed on, and came back to help.
Wow. Well, can angels be, misleading and, deadly to humans?
Well, from seeing some people's stories on television, I believe there are evil, mean-spirited energies of awareness that lead others to harm. Personally, I have not experienced a misleading and deadly type of angel, thank God. Literally. Thank God.
That may not be good. Well, have you had any unexplained or paranormal experiences that have left a significant mark on your life? And if so, can you describe those experiences?
Well, yes, I have. I wrote about all the significant ones in my book, and from experiencing them, I know for a fact, again, that God and guardian angels and life after death and near-death experiences and everlasting love exists. So I got to keep it kind of general, because if I tell you specifically, then you're going to know what's in the book. Like, why read the book if I'm going to tell you about this specifically? But yeah, I have had those experiences, and they have greatly affected my life. Again, without those experiences, I would not have faith. I would not. Definitely, I would not.
Well, is there any experience that you have, that you could talk about? One, just right, that ain't gonna give away too much about your book, but one that you could discuss.
Well, let's see. After somebody had passed, very generally, after somebody had passed, they had visited me, and I was in their presence immediately after they passed, and I touched their body in a certain way because something was happening to them. And when this person came back in spirit to me, they touched my body the same way. I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
Yeah. There are so many things going on in this book, but they're all so special. Maybe because it happened to me, I don't know, but I don't hear it from other people, so I really cherish them, and I'd like to keep it in the book. And I'm sorry to cut you off like that. I mean,
that's all right. Like that. That's no problem. Well, when did you first see a ghost, and can you explain that experience?
The very first time I've seen a ghost, and this is also in my book, and with the details are in the book, is when my cat passed. I held him in my arms while he was passing, and after he passed, I put his body in another room, and about within the next half hour, I see him in my room, his spirit. Yeah.
Okay. Life after death. Can you give me your interpretation of what it's like?
Yeah, my experience of life after, quote, death, unquote, comes from the near-death experience I had. That's, again, detailed in my book. During that experience, I was called to God by him. He showed me something that he knew I wouldn't understand at the time, excuse me, but would later in my life. I didn't understand it then when I saw it, but later on in my life I did understand it. And at that time in my near-death experience, I was aware of everything that was in my vision only, like having a 180-degree view, like half the view, all that was to the sides in front of me. I was aware of that, nothing in back of me, so I didn't have complete view of everything. The sky was blue and cloudless. There was no wind. I felt comfortable in the environment. I felt totally at ease, yet obedient and peaceful in his presence. I thought the same exact way as I do now. My thoughts did not change then, and I did not speak. And when he spoke to me, I heard his voice in my head, and it wasn't coming out of his mouth. And that was what my experience was like of life after death.
Wow. Well, can you explain the differences between earthbound spirits and spirits who have crossed over?
No. My personal opinion about the two is that the spirits who are not earthbound are on such an energy wavelength that allows them to go anywhere and be anything they choose to be. That's also in my book. Some spirits have taken on different forms. So, and they are the ones who understand, to my understanding, to my feeling, belief, they are the ones who understand what love is. Okay, those who spirits that are not earthbound, those spirits that are earthbound are of another energy wavelength, perhaps a heavier one, that prevents their spirit from moving into an area of brighter light, and their energy is evil. They also might be earthbound to live off other sources of energy in this realm.
Well, could angels be, are they from I know everybody's always said, heaven's up, hell's down, but could it possibly be like a parallel universe and some type of multiple dimension type beings?
I'm a little confused by it. I believe that we are living in a multi-dimensional realm. Yeah, our reality, what we see, there's much more going on than things that we do not see. And that's another reason why I wrote the book, because in parts of it, with the angels appearing and helping out, they are involved with me here in this realm.
Mm-hmm.
Making it multidimensional. I've never seen an angel. I've heard them talk to me, but I haven't seen one. So this is where I believe that we are living in at least a dual reality world.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I don't know how many more dimensions. And frankly, I really don't want to know, because knowing when I realized that I was living in a dual reality world, it blew my mind. It shocked me. So, and then I hear about these UFOs, and I'm sure they do exist. I'm pretty sure they do, but I really don't want to see hard evidence of it. I think I would probably just keel over and drop dead if I just saw a newscast. Oh, here's a UFO coming in, and oh my God, I'm done. I'm gone. I've had it. The end of me here in this realm.
I know a friend of mine, we got on a discussion about shadow people and how, I've done some research on it, and they're talking about how they're multidimensional beings and stuff. And it's just fascinating. And, from what I understand, that they've been around it, first document, let me see, 1153 BC. And Native Americans are the ones who are really big about discussing about them. I didn't mean to jump off track talking about the interdimensional stuff. It kind of led me down that path.
No, that's okay. When you say shadow people, do you see like a gray spirit walking around? Is that what you're talking about, or what did they look like?
They actually look like a person, but it's just a black mask shaped like like a person, like a silhouette.
I've seen gray people, spirits.
Uh-huh.
I have seen them. Yeah, one like walked through a wall and disappeared into another wall. It was strange. It kind of like looked at me. Its head was pointing in my direction, and as it was walking out from one wall to me, and then not close to me, that looked at me and then walked into another wall. Yeah, I've seen that before.
Well, the shadow people, you can't see through them. They, from what I understand about them, and because where I had to get a lot of information from was listening to one of Art Bell's. I don't know if you've ever heard of Art Bell.
Oh yeah,
Well, he done a show quite a few years ago with this Native American called Thunderstrike, and he was talking about how quick they move, and like if you have cats, they don't like cats, so they don't come around you because cats can see them where a cat can quickly turn, where we don't turn as quick as they do, because a lot of people will talk about seeing them at their side of their eyes, peripheral vision, and I mean, it was just fascinating, and and I just wonder if a lot of people may have mistaken that as some type of angelic being.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. I have seen a gray spirit of somebody who I knew and loved. They were standing next to me to protect me. So, yeah. I wish I could tell you more about that.
That's all right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to jump off track, but yeah.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Anytime somebody starts talking about the parallel universes and stuff and parallel realities, it always makes me want to jump down another rabbit hole.
That's fine. Yeah, I like hearing these stories because it's different. I'm pretty well centered with what I experienced. I'm centered with that. Anything evil, then I become unglued and I gotta back away from it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, with all the fascinating experiences that you've had, have you ever experienced anything that that has caused you to be fearful or scared or afraid?
Yes. This is not in my books. I can openly tell you about it. When I was in the house in that desert, there was a face. It was like glowing red, and it had red hair that was sticking out all over the place. And it was staring at me through the bedroom window. And, oh my God, what the heck is this? And yeah, and I called the police, but by the time they came, that thing, whatever it was gone.
Yeah, that's normally the way it is with the police. You need them really quickly, you ain't gonna get them. I don't care where you're at.
That's mostly the case, yes.
Yeah, they show up after everything's been stolen. You're standing there and you're scared. You'll be like, well, we're here to help. You'll be like, well, too damn late now. Ain't got. They took it all.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm
funny.
not police people, so if there's any officers out there listening, I still like you all, even though you're a little slow.
Oh yeah, they've been very helpful for me. Yes, they have been. I love them. I truly love them. They've been very helpful. It's just that when you live out in the desert and there's no population out there, yeah, it's going to take a while for them to find you. Like, where are you? Follow the dust trail up. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, here, thank goodness, I know a lot of them, and I'm friends with them, grew up with them, so I like to poke at them now and then, and they try to poke back, but then I end up getting them back, and they're like, okay, we shut up.
That's funny. Yeah, I've worked for 2 police departments before, one in the detective division, well, 2 detective divisions of the police department and 2 departments of the detective division, and then just regular clerk at a different police department. Yep.
That's awesome. Well, see, I'm good friends with the sheriff, and that kind of helps a lot because I've always told him, I'm like, if I ever get in trouble, please get me out of it. He said, no, you get in trouble, I'm putting your ass in jail, boy.
Well, that's a good friend you have there.
That's it.
Ever think of moving?
Yeah, I love him to death, and I know where I'm going to go if I do anything wrong.
Oh, my.
Well, in your opinion, what do you think a demon is?
A demon, I would think, is an energy of awareness that is evil and has no regard for you or others at all.
That's the simplest version I've ever heard from anybody.
It comes from editing a lot, I think.
Boy, editing, boy, got you tore down great. Well, I mean, you're just like, okay, a demon, well, they suck. There you go.
Yeah. They're bad, keep away. No good.
They're bad,
Not good
stay
for
away
you.
from them. There you go. Okay. Oh, anybody got any questions about what a demon is? Ask this lady. She'll give you the simplest version you ever heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Seeing that Ouija boards are, such a hot topic in the paranormal world, what are your experiences and thoughts on using a Ouija board? Straight from demons to Ouija board.
Yeah.
Stop it! Don't use them.
But I'll tell you why. I'm sorry.
Don't use them. There you go.
Wait, but I do have an explanation, or I can expand on it. Well, I feel that they are very dangerous, and therefore not to be used. A girlfriend of mine in high school had one in her bedroom closet, and while I was visiting her, she took it out. She lit a candle, and we sat on the floor ready to ask it a question. And my friend asked the board a question. As we put our fingers on the device that is meant to be moved on the board in response to our question, just after she asked the question, we heard a loud bang. We felt a strong breeze come through her window, and the lit candle blew out from the wind. We were both scared, and I insisted we go outside to the trash can and throw the board and the other piece away, which we immediately did. Yeah, don't use one.
Yeah, there you go, people. You heard it. Don't use them. I've been telling people that for a long time. As a matter of fact, I got 2 friends of mine. I've told them for years not to mess with them, and they went around and messed with one, and they opened up something that now they regret.
Yeah, those demons will follow you now. I mean, it opens up in a porthole, I think, a portal to evil or some other realm that you don't really want around.
Yeah. Well, Kathy, we'll take another quick break, and we'll finish up on our next segment. And I thank you so much for, coming on and telling us about yourself, and we'll come back and let you tell us some more.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for having me. I'll see you in a few.
Okay, bye-bye. Well, not bye-bye, but...
Yeah.
What's the use of saying bye-bye to everybody?
Cut it off.
You're like, wow, he's done with me.
That's funny. Yeah, I'll see you in a few.
He's like, I'm going to let none of my friends know I was on this guy's show. Oh, gosh.
I know. Oh, no, it's going to be on my timeline for sure. Absolutely.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll see you in a few.
Okay. Oh, Lord, I'm having... See, without Melinda here, I'm just out of hell.
Phantom Fest 2019 is hosted and sponsored by Black Diamond Paranormal Society, Blog Talk Radio Within the Chaos, the Connor Sisters, Paranormal Party, and Elk Garden School Community Ministry. The Phantom Fest is geared for the like-minded and enthusiasts and researchers in the fields of the paranormal, UFOs, cryptozoology, comics, horror films, gamers, cosplay, metaphysical, spiritual, artists, authors, ancient civilizations, tattoo artists, unexplained mysteries, superheroes, FX horror artists, steampunk, costume contest, sci-fi, and so much more. The fest offers a unique and interesting outlook on the abnormal. The Phantom Fest will be held on November 2nd, 2019 at the Russell County Conference Center, 139 Highland Drive, Lebanon, Virginia, starting at 10 a.m. and going to 6 p.m. Tickets are $7 per person, ages 0 to 6 are free. Or tickets can be reduced to $5 per person with 2 non-perishable food items, to be donated to the Elk Garden School Community Ministry to help families during the Thanksgiving season. Any non-perishable food donations will be happily received. Also, we will have a free costume contest for all ages. Any businesses or persons interested in being a vendor, please be sure to submit your vendor application and include the vendor fee of $25 by October 20th, 2019. Feel free to find the Phantom Fest vendor application at our website, phantomfest.org. Guest speakers, returning this year, Bill and Chris Reap of Reap Investigations, paranormal investigators Tina Marie Williamson and Paul Dixon, giant researcher Heather Arnold. New to this year's Phantom Fest guest speakers, Dave Spinks, Ron Whitehead, Jake Fife, Chad Zumwalt and Whitney Benson. Special appearances by Cosplay Bridget Baker, Martial Arts Christian Yaya Thompson and Token Nihilist Cosplay. Many more to be announced. Find us on Facebook Phantom Fest, www.facebook.com/phantomfest. Our email, phantomfest1@yahoo.com. For more information, please contact Rodney Shortridge at 276-970-1456, Misty Connor at 540-597-7190. The $25 vendor fee includes a 6-foot table, 2 chairs, 2 free admission tickets and power, upon request. The $25 vendor fee is non-refundable. Vendor applicants will be notified within 3 days after payment has been processed for approval. Go to Facebook events at www.facebook.com/events/phantomfest.
Have your devices just randomly stopped working? Are you having IT trouble? Not to worry, Mead's PC Repair Shop can help. We also offer IT support too, including website hosting. We are now also offering full event management services. To find out more, contact our friendly customer service team who will gladly help in any situation. Just call 276-880-8900, or if you prefer, you can stop by our shop at 1089 St. Clair Street, Oakwood, Virginia, 24631 by appointment only, or by visiting the website at meadspcshop.com for more information. Thank you.
Okay, we're back with Kathy, and well, I hope she's there. I hope I didn't run her off.
I'm here. I'm here. No, you didn't. No, you can't run me off. I'm gonna haunt you. I'm a ghost. You can't run me off.
Well, if you're gonna haunt me, you better be good at it, because when I go to sleep, I sleep sound.
So do I. I don't bother anybody.
I don't either. I lay on one side, and that's it. I go 99, and I wake up 5-6 hours later. I'm like, well, time to get up.
Yeah. Same here.
Well, okay. Let me get myself back in the game here. Well, have you ever been, physically or emotionally or spiritually attacked by any unknown entity? And if so, can you explain that experience?
No, I have never been attacked by a spiritual entity.
Well,
Yeah,
that's good.
It's very good.
Put a short into that. That's good.
Yeah. There you have that one. Yeah. Yeah. No, I haven't, and thank God again, literally. When I get it, mostly good. So, 99% good, very rarely bad. If it's anything bad, they're in the flesh, so not in spirit. So it's been good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, what is your opinion on what a ghost could be?
I believe a ghost is made from good, well-meaning energy. That ghost or / spirit can be anything it wants to be, except, I believe, something evil. So by becoming evil would permanently make the spirit evil. If made from bad energy, that ghost or spirit can also be anything it wants to be, but nothing good. Should that spirit do something nice, good, then that spirit will always be good. So you got your good and your bad spirits. I don't really think that there's a combination, to my personal belief, that a spirit can be both good and bad. I don't know. Have you heard of any spirit doing that? Be both good and bad?
Not unless it's just like a playful spirit, like if it could be nice and be playful, but that playfulness could be irritating or something like that. I could see the yin and the yang there. I think it might depend on the person that's having the experience.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. I really haven't. I've heard of that too. Yeah, but it ends up bad. So yeah, it's done that, and then it seems like it's a nice intent, but it's the end is bad. So yeah. Yeah.
Do you believe when you die you automatically go to heaven or hell? That you're judged, or do you? I mean, I know the Bible talks about Judgment Day. The dead shall rise. So where's all? If you don't go to heaven or hell, and you're still on the ground or roaming around, that's where a lot of people kind of get confused at. What's your thoughts on that? If I explain that right.
Oh, okay. My belief is that when a spirit passes, okay, I'm trying to get rid of the word die, because the spirit is still alive after the body dies. The spirit's still spirit, which I call also awareness, is always alive. And therefore, I believe personally that we all rise. Okay, where you're going to end up is, I believe, how the type of energy you have. So if you're good energy, you'll end up in the light, and if you're bad energy, you're heavy, you're going to end up in the darkness, more earthbound, and then the better soul you are, your spirit, awareness, you'll go towards the light, gravitate that way. And I believe you can go back and forth. Once you're in the light, you can go back and forth. I don't think that an evil spirit can go back and forth. They're more earthbound.
Oh, okay. So
and also, I'm sorry, but also it's like hate begets hate. So it's like the evil spirit's going to beget evil, the evilness in a living being or wherever. All that energy, it'll connect with evilness. Wherever it finds it, it'll connect with that.
Mm-hmm.
And being that source. And the same with angelic type beings, they'll connect with the more evolved type of spirits, the more angelic types, like they are, whether in the flesh or in energy form.
Well, what do you think spirits, linger and not move on?
I believe that to be helpful if an angel, or hurtful if demonic.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, they're still aware. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, they're still aware of what's going on, and if that's the type of thinking that they have, they always will. Like in my near-death experience, my thinking didn't change. Even though my spirit was no longer in my body at that time, my thinking didn't change. So I'm still the same, quote, person, unquote, I was in my body as I am, or my awareness is still the same, whether inside or outside the body. So you're still going to have that same kind of attitude, no matter where you're at, in this realm, any other realm, in the flesh, in the spirit.
Well, when you had your near-death experience, how long was your spirit or awareness, do you feel like, was out of your body?
I don't think it was for very long, because not much happened. There wasn't a lot of action in there. It was just a few things that happened. They were highly significant what happened, but not many things actually happened. So I don't believe it was for a very long period of time.
Okay. Well, what's your opinion about so many paranormal TV shows on TV? Do you think, it's helping or hurting the paranormal field of study?
I'm really glad you asked that question. I could finally say something about this. Okay, here it is. Okay. I think that the paranormal shows are wonderful. I truly do. If they weren't live, and I'll tell you why. They need to be edited to show the paranormal activity. Too many of these shows, these type of shows, have the viewer watch for periods of long time before something happens. And on some shows, nothing happens. So why waste the viewer's time having them end up watching nothing related to the paranormal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Edit it and show the paranormal stuff, or don't show it at all. So that's why I say not to have a live show. I think it's kind of fun. You have nothing to do on a Saturday night. You're with a couple of friends and they at somebody's house and they're watching TV and the show is on. It kind of piques your interest and curiosity and kind of scares you. I think the biggest factor to be scared is your own self. So you're anticipating something horrible is going to happen, or paranormal, or evil, something's going to happen, but just that anticipation keeps you watching.
Yeah.
But for a show, I mean, it's like watching an empty stage and you're waiting for the actor to come on, or a singer, or somebody, an entertainer of some form, and you're just watching an empty stage. It's pointless to me. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can understand that. Well,
but to see the oh,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I keep jumping ahead.
No, that's okay. You're fine. To see nothing, but to see something happen is quite spectacular. That it's worth it. But again, edit it down. I think the show would benefit greatly if it were not live, and if it was edited just to show the paranormal events. I would greatly appreciate that. Okay, yes, I'm done with that topic.
Okay. Be like, you hear that, producers and directors out there? Get on it.
Yeah.
Well, what's your opinion on people that, claim that they have psychic abilities?
Oh, mercy. I mean, I've heard watching some of these TV shows, oh, my goodness. Yes. Personally, I'm not convinced at all without having seen or experiencing some proof. Show me the proof. And somebody may say, okay, Kathy, show me the proof. Okay, I have in my book a picture, an actual picture of a spirit. It's in my book. And I do explain about how that came about. in my book. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what's your opinion about the afterlife?
Again, I believe the afterlife exists for everyone. Where one ends up going to is up to the individual's thoughts and energy wavelength.
Okay. Have you had any experiences other than the paranormal, such as crypto or any UFO encounters?
No, just of the paranormal types. No, I haven't had those. Thank God. And like I said, I don't want UFOs. Yeah.
You'd be running. Why is there an 8-foot hairy man standing there on the side of the road? I don't know, and I ain't gonna find out.
Yeah, keep it locked, and I'm walking away. Sell the house. I'm done. Yeah.
Well, what do you do when you're not so busy?
Okay. My answer to that is sleep. I'm always busy during my waking hours.
I just had this feeling, and I ain't psyched. You was going to say that.
Really? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, looks like we're about ready to wind this down. So, do you have any projects that you'll be working on that that you can discuss with everyone?
Oh, yes. Presently, I'm working on doing more YouTube videos. You can find me on YouTube. There are 2 videos that I put out there, and there will be more to come. So please subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. It's under Kathy Werstein, and you can also find it under Guiding Kathy. Kathy's with a K. Guiding Kathy, A True Story. And again, I plan to redo my screenplay and write a fiction book.
Okay. What do you have a website? Where people can get where they can go to if they want to get a hold of you, to talk to you about anything, or have any questions, thoughts, comments, and so forth.
Yeah, I can be found on the net by searching my name, Kathy, Kathy, Werstein, Werstein, S as in Sam, T as in Tom, EIN as in Nancy, or by Kathleen Werstein, Kathleen, and then Werstein, or by my book's title, Guiding Kathy, A True Story. And you will then find my Facebook page, my ebook being sold on individual popular digital stores, my hard copy book on Amazon worldwide, and again, my YouTube channel by the name of Kathy Werstein, or by my book's title, Guiding Kathy, A True Story. And again, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's free, and you will find out more about my book on it as well. And also,
okay.
I'm going to offer some surprises, something that I've never discussed on my YouTube channel about my book, and also have a book giveaway contest. So look forward to that. So please subscribe.
All right. Well, Kathy, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your story and your book and a little bit about yourself. And like I said, well, I can tell everybody, doors always open. Anytime you want to come back, just let me know.
Oh, thank you so much, Rodney, for having me. It was a true pleasure and honor to be on your show, and I can't thank you enough for asking me to be a guest on it.
Oh, you're making me blush. Stop it.
Oh. Well, it's true. I do tell the truth.
Well, it's an honor to have you on, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I have nothing but respect for you and the work you're doing. And like I said, anytime you're ready to come back, just give me a holler, and we'll get you back on.
Okay, great. Thanks. You got a deal there. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. You have a good night, and don't you get too, well, I guess you said you all had some snow. I guess stay warm. Why am I saying stay warm in Nevada? That's weird.
Now you've got my snow now. It started from the west moving east. So yeah, we're done with here in Vegas. We're done with the snow. It's your snow now.
Oh, okay. So
you keep warm.
Yeah, I gotta keep warm. Well, I'm a fat boy, so I stay warm pretty good anyway.
Oh no. No.
Well, I'll let you go. You have a good night. You have a great weekend. And like I said, anytime you want to come back, just let me know.
Okay, great. You got a deal. And I thank you again so very much, Rodney, for having me be a guest on your show.
Oh, you're very welcome. You have a good night.
Thanks, you too. Okay.
Now I can say bye-bye, right?
Yes. I won't haunt you. You can go to sleep and have a peaceful evening. Okay, thanks again, Rodney. Bye-bye.
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 Well, I want to thank Kathy for coming on the show. Like I said, I have nothing but respect for her and the job she's doing. And we welcome her back anytime. Next Thursday night, March 14th, our special guest will be retired U.S. Air Force Airman. He's an author, John Titter. So everyone have a great and safe and good night and weekend. And nothing but love to everyone. So hopefully Melinda will be feeling better and we'll have her on and she can say that special good night, y'all. I can't do it, but good night, y'all. Let's see, where is that at? Oh, there it is. That's it for us tonight. I want to thank everyone that took the time to listen in. I'd like to give a big shout out to the Vibe Radio Network and to Ryan for putting up with us. Also to all the first responders and our men and women in the armed services. Thank you for your service and the sacrifices that you and your families make every day to keep our great nation safe. Tune in next week to another exciting show starting at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everyone can go to our Facebook page Within the Chaos, and don't forget to like our page to see upcoming guests along with past shows, postings, or you can also go to my website at www.blackdiamondps.org or blogtalkradio.com/Vibe Radio Network. Also, we have a YouTube channel, so go to YouTube, look up Within the Chaos for past shows. Thanks again. Until next week, everyone have a safe weekend and have a good night. And love you all. Be careful out there.
I'm sorry. But I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world, there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world, millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, machine men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!